Hello there, today I'm going to talk about my experience doing an exchange year in Japan with YFU. Stay tuned! Hello everyone and welcome back to another video of my exchange year in Japan series, where I talk about how it was living in Japan as a high school student, living with a Japanese host family, learning Japanese and more. In this episode, I'm going to talk about whatever happens after you got accepted for your exchange year. So if you're interested in living in Japan or doing an exchange program yourself, keep watching and subscribe. So you applied for an exchange program and you got it. First of all, congratulations, this is gonna be an amazing experience. Now, after I got my acceptance notice and was done pinching my cheeks, I was like, and now? And now what do I do? I have to say it was kind of a weird feeling for me, knowing that in a few months I'm going to live in Japan for a year to just go on with my normal life. Some of the things you're worried about suddenly seem so insignificant. I can't really explain why, but that is how I felt, and maybe you had a similar experience. If so, please share it with us. Now, after you have been accepted, you're going to be placed in a family. Since I have never hosted anyone in a program like this before, I don't know how exactly the families choose the exchange student or how much say they have in this. But a lot of people keep asking me, since I spent my exchange year in Hiroshima, why did you want to go to Hiroshima? Or why didn't you choose Tokyo? The answer is rather easy. First of all, you don't get to choose. This is not a vacation where you choose a destination, book a flight and go. No. You're gonna live wherever your host family lives that you have been placed with or that chose you. So naturally, not every exchange student is gonna end up in Tokyo. And second, since I had been provided with a full scholarship by the city of Hiroshima, it was clear that I was gonna stay with a family in Hiroshima. There were 4 other girls from all over the world who got the same scholarship as I did, and we were the ones staying with the families in Hiroshima. After every student has successfully been placed with a family, usually the family will get in contact with you. Mine wrote me a beautiful letter on really nice Japanese paper that introduced each family member and let me know the name of the school that I was going to attend and the address where I could send a letter to myself. And they also put some pictures. When I wrote back, I think I never spent that much time writing one letter in my whole life. It was all very exciting. Since this was shortly before everyone had a smartphone and instant messaging became the norm, I'm not sure if you would still get a letter now. But I guess it depends on the family. Not everyone got a letter. Some people received emails or switched to email, I think, after the first letter, because it's obviously quicker, but you know, a letter is quite nice. Before it was time to leave for Japan, YFU held an orientation for all exchange students from Germany who would go somewhere that year. I went there by train with my friend who also applied and got accepted for Japan, because they didn't do the orientation in Berlin where we lived, but you could get the fee for the trains back later, or at least parts of it. During this orientation, we basically talked about different points of view from people who grew up in different places, and how points of view and opinions on things might change as we experience living in a country different from the one we grew up in. We also talked a lot about values that we as Germans might have and think to be only natural, but that people from other countries might not have. The volunteers who held this orientation did an exchange year with YFU before themselves, so they also shared some fun stories about their living abroad experience and gave some advice on different things. During this orientation, we also got to meet the other students from Germany who would go to Japan and talked about which city each of us would live in, and the letters or emails we got from our host families, what we were excited to see, and everything we had on our mind really. After watching the video, let me know in the comments if you did an exchange year before, how did your host family get in touch with you, and how did you prepare for the program. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you want to learn more about living in Japan and going to a Japanese school. And feel free to like this video if you liked it and want to see more. If you have any further questions regarding this topic that you would like me to answer in a future video, don't be shy and leave it in the comment section down below. Thank you so much for watching and see you in the next one. じゃあね!